Hey guys, it's Charon Richardson. How are you guys doing today? Thank you so much for joining Gwan Style Your Life. This has been a long time dream of mine to start empowering women and inspiring women through fashion, because that's what I do best. I just do fashion the best that I can. Um, I am so elated to have a panel of fabulous, strong women that I admire that have decided to join me for the premiere episode of Gwan Style Your Life. It's just it's just a little extra Faboo because it's just how we do, you know. I wanted to share a little bit about why
Keep talking. Why are you still talking?
Because I hear myself talking back what I just said.
That's okay. Keep going.
I'm sorry, we're having a little different. This is all new to me, so I'm just trying to figure it out. I hear myself talking to myself,
Okay.
and it's kind of weird,
Just
but it's
be
okay.
natural.
It's okay. I love it. I love it. This is live. This is live out of my studio. So, okay, I wanted to share a little bit about myself and who I am as a woman, as a designer. Born and raised in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Is this how we do the VI sign? I'm not really sure. VI people, don't beat me up. Don't beat me up. I don't know because the camera is turned to me. I'm not sure. So I'm born and raised in the Virgin Islands. I left many moons ago to come to fashion school to FIT, and somebody mentored me and gave me strength to empowered me to leave. And I wrote about that in Pose magazine this month, and so you guys should definitely go read that so you can learn a little bit about me. And I came to fashion school and I graduated, and I had the greatest honor of working on 7th Avenue Fashion District for like 15 years and traveled the world. I've been to Hong Kong, China, Rome, like you name it, she's been. Traveling first class going, don't stop the champagne until I'm on the other side of the world, kind of thing. So for the love of fashion, all of these great things happened, and I feel like as a woman, as a mom, as a grandma now, that this is grandma. This is the new grandma, people. Let's get it together for the grandmas out here, buddy. Yes. So I feel like it's all these great facets that created this beautiful diamond today. And I want to give that to women and show women that we're all beautiful. It doesn't matter shape, size, color, anything. We're all beautiful. Just the way we are. We are fabulous exactly where we are, exactly who we are, and we can bloom and be fabulous every day. I started my company about Guam by Sharon about 7 years ago or so, and I started it out of a love of fashion and a love of, because I worked in corporate and I didn't see me represented in even the stuff that I designed. I didn't even see that. So for me, I had to design for me and create for me. And so Guan started, and Guan in my native tongue means go ahead. So for me, I'm giving women power to just go ahead and be their fabulous self. And don't worry about what the world thinks, how they think. You just strut your stuff and just go with it. Like, who cares? Boo, bye, cha, bye, Felicia. Isn't that the new saying now? I'm not sure. I can't keep up. My grandson will tell me in a couple of years, no, grandma, you doing it wrong. I'm sure. And so today we're going to start this brand new Guan Style Your Life. I want to empower women in all aspects of their life and share with fabulous panels every week so that they can give tips and feedbacks and great. So if you guys have questions, go and hashtag Guan, SYL, and our producer Bernice will get all the questions together and we will ask questions at the end for each of our panelists. So let me start by introducing our panelists that will be here today on the premiere show of Gwan Style Your Life. I know, I'm so extra. I can't help it. It's just who I am. If you know me, it's to love me, darlings. So today we're going to have Tiffany Jones from Pose magazine. She has joined us today. And this hottie I met in St. Croix. She is the editor-in-chief of Pose magazine, and I gotta tell you, she has empowered me past the moon. So everybody tell Tiff, hey. I don't know if I unmuted you. Did I unmute you? I'm not sure. Yeah, you can talk now.
Hi guys, how you doing?
No, you can't. I don't know. I did something wrong. I'm sorry. Stop laughing at me, people. I try my best. I'm trying my best. It's not us. I'll figure it. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. And then we have Dre Cleveland, who is a life power coach. She's here with us today, being fabulous as she want to be, and I'm so honored to have her amongst the panel. Again, not sure why I'm not.
Can you hear me now?
Unmute now. Are you there?
Yes. Can you hear me?
I don't know what I'm doing.
So when you said no, you're there to Tiffany, she was there. When she said, hi, guys, I can hear her.
Oh, you can hear her? Oh, I can't hear her.
Right.
Okay. People can hear you, apparently.
Hi, people.
Okay, I'm not sure why. But people, please bear with me out there. I'm trying my best, okay? Oh, you know what it is? I turned off my speakers. Don't laugh at me.
When Drea spoke, I could hear her.
Okay, yeah. Oh, so, yeah, okay, and go.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, there you go. It was my fault. My speakers was off. Judge away, people. Judge away. Get it in. And our last panelist today, our last person today is Candice Kelly, straight out of San Diego, California. She is the fabulous plus-size model, and I had the pleasure of her rocking my clothing in St. Croix and walking for my first swimwear collection that I launched, the Blitz. So everybody say happy to Candace! Yay! Yes, Hetty, yes. So I just wanted to introduce you guys. So that today I'm going to go back and talk about the topic, and then we'll come back to you guys and talk a little bit more, and that way everybody can get to know you guys one-on-one. All right? All right. Ooh, did I steal that? I did. Anyway, so I'm going to put on my 4 eyes because that's what grandmas do lately. So I'm going to wear my eyes. So today our topic is, and it's such a great topic, it's about new beginnings, and rightfully so. You know, I'm starting this new chapter in my life, and there's so many things that as women we want to try, do, and experiment. And you know, because we're such nurturers, we're always worrying about everybody else. What does everybody else needs? And then think about ourselves a little last. But what I want to do is empower you guys to think of a dream, think of a plan, get a friend, get an accountability partner, and let somebody hold you accountable. I have some crazy inner circle accountability partners who kind of actually call me out on my stuff repeatedly. You told me you was going to get it to me at 3 o'clock. It's 3:01. Where's the stuff you told me? And I'm like, but I was doing this. Nobody cares, Sharon. You said that you would. And so you have to. And honestly, this is how I got this far, because somebody held me accountable. If you tell somebody your dreams and you have them there to hold you accountable, it kind of helps you, push you along the way. I've had friends that kind of kick me off the bridge. Bernice did that. She did that. The producer over there, I just gave her this idea. She was like, pick a day. Let's go. Do this. And I was like, oh my God. And here we are. And I'm so happy about it. So I want to talk about like new beginnings. Are there projects that you've wanted to start and you didn't start? Why has it hindered you from starting? What do you need? Do you need a mentor? Do you need a friend? I want us to start a sisterhood within this Guan Style Your Life. So it's not only about fashion and stuff like that. It's also about helping someone. I was talking to the fabulous Tiffany a couple of weeks ago, and she changed my whole perspective. She says, everybody has awareness. We all aware of something, but nobody is about the solution of things. That was the great Tiffany Jones. That right there changed my whole view on everything in life. It's not only about just knowing that something exists and something's there. How do we help somebody who has a dream? So I'm aware that she has a dream. I'm aware that she wants to do this. How do I help her? Is it that I make her a dress so that she could go on a better job interview? What is it that we as a community do to help each other out to build and grow? Because guess what? When one grow, we all grow. And that's the key. So thank you, Tiffany, for being so prolific and fabulous and sharing that with me. I mean, we can't even talk on the phone because our conversations goes on. I just have to hang up on her and just be like, boo, I'm out. Click. Just dry hang up. Click. So for me, that's like the greatest thing. And again, do you have a circle of friends that you can trust with your dream? You know, giving somebody the power to have your dream and that they have it and then they don't, they laugh at your dream. They think that you're not worthy of it. So having those inner circle friends are really key to getting that and understanding to help you, again, be accountable for everything. Are you letting your ideas just linger in your brain and every day you go, ooh, I just feel this. I want to do this, but you don't, and you never really do anything. These are things that we want to talk about today. So if you guys have questions again, go and hit us on Twitter or Facebook at hashtag GuanSYL. That is Guan, S for style, Y for you only live once, and L for we have to be leaders, darling. Let's take over the world. One stitch at a time. Yes. So I feel like there's so many things that we can do as women, and I'm now a writer because now I write. So somebody told me I could write, and now I write. And I've written for Pose magazine several times, and I'm so honored that, you know, I always thought I write the way I speak in my Crucian, as we call it, dialect. So it's kind of like, I don't know what the prepositions are, the verbs are, the this. I can't even remember the rules of what, you know, the English teacher used to go, that's, you have to have a noun, a verb, and this. I just kind of write from my heart, and it works, and I love it. So again, I have a couple of articles in Pose, and you guys should go log on to magpose.com and read my articles. I won't tell you which pages. You just got to read through everything because there's tons of good, juicy stuff in there. They even talk about, like, I won't even tell you. You just got to go. Just go. Just go. Just go. So I want to also find out I want to go through and introduce my panelists one by one, and we will talk, and they'll tell us what they're doing and what's important to them and how they're going to change the world and how we're going to change the world as women and what are they doing. And all these women are out here empowering women in some shape or form. And it was funny because, short story before we go on, because she can talk. Trust me, I can talk. But I remember a couple of years ago, somebody asked me, you know, what is your purpose in life? And I was like, purpose? And for me, I remember growing up in the islands and thinking, you know, if you're not a doctor, a lawyer, or a teacher, you're not really giving purpose. It was that was like our upbringing, you know, a nurse, you know, those kind of things. You're kind of in that box. And it took me a while to figure out. So I finally came back. And I says, you know, actually my purpose is to just make women Faboo. That's it. And it was surprisingly that he just started clapping. He said, that's all that I wanted you to see, that the way that you are in the world is exactly the way that you need to be in the world. Because there's only one you. It's only you can make people Faboo. Nobody else could do it like you do. So all these women that are here today as our guests, they do Faboo their own way. They give to our world in their own way. They're amazing in their own way. Did I just talk for 15 minutes? I told you all I can talk. Didn't I? I can talk. So we're going to start with Miss Tiffany Tip Jones. So is that a Faboo top you're wearing, girl? Yes! I love it. This is fabulous. Did I unmute you? Okay. I think I did.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. actually.
Hey.
Perfect. Yeah, so I did do it right. Yeah. Okay, so let me introduce Tiffany. Tell you a little bit about her bio. So Tiffany Tip Jones is a business coach, a marketing consulting who has spent the last 7 years birthing new business ideas in advertising, fashion, and numerous nonprofit industry. She has launched Be Encouraged, a series of self-esteem and confidence workshops for women to better their entrepreneurial success. Ms. Jones uses her fashion background as a springboard to launch Pose magazine, a digital publication highlighting men and women living the plus-size lifestyle. She is also the CEO of an organization called the $1 College Foundation. Everybody say hey to Tiffany. Hey, Tiff. Yes, honey, yes. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for being on the panel. I'm so honored.
You went away. Where's Quan? Can you hear me? I can't hear you. I can hear you now.
Okay.
It's a lag, so I'm 20 seconds behind. I heard her before.
Okay.
Okay.
So now we're live.
Okay.
Okay, so perfect. So tell me a little bit about what events in your life led you to do marketing and become a business coach?
Oh, honestly, it was a lack of money. No one else would allow me to market with them for free, so I had to find my own platform. So I
love it.
Let's create it. And so the cost of advertising was completely beyond me, and I said, well, let me learn a little bit. I went to school, studied some advertising, studied some marketing, studied some consumer psychology, and still nobody would help me. So I thought, okay, well, I have to advertise myself. What am I going to do it in? And somehow, some way, Pose magazine kind of made that happen. As a business coach, because I've been doing businesses since I was 13 years old, I had my very first one, which was a dance school in New York City. I sort of kind of learned it in the field and had no formal training, kind of like a dancer or an artist or someone who was just naturally able to sing. And my mother one day said, you give a lot of people a lot of free advice. You should have your own business. So that's kind of how that was born.
And there you go. That's awesome. I mean, for me, I know that you've given me tons of advice and kicks off the bridges, and
doesn't count.
It doesn't count.
completely different set of situations. You always give your friends free advice. You don't.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And how did you decide that you would launch Pose magazine? Because your magazine is full of great articles, great ideas. You just had Nene Leakes on the cover. That's huge. Then right after that, you came out, bam, Michael J. White, which I've met and I've touched, ladies. Don't be mad. Don't be mad. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. So I see the panel, like they're going crazy back here, cutting their eyes at me like, what you mean you met Michael? Like, this doesn't make any sense. But yes, there it is. Yes, it is a fabulous cover. Fabulous cover. I'm just excited. So, what made you go? Because honestly, to tell you the truth, like I've seen magazines start, and your magazine is still relatively young. It's 3 years. Yes. But the level of work, the level of quality of pictures, the quality of the intent, the content in the magazine is Vogue, Lucky, Elle quality. Like it's just amazing. So what made you go, I'm going to start a magazine?
Well, I want to keep it really brief because it is a pretty in detail story, but I was doing Gwen DeVoe's Plus Academy in Charlotte, and I wanted to give the students a takeaway, and that takeaway was going to be like a picture album or a poster of themselves after a photo shoot. And I spoke to Kenny Boyd, the creative director now of Pose magazine, and I said, "Hey, what do you think about a mock magazine?" He says, "Okay, what do you want to call it?" So I like tinkered with it for a few minutes, and I said, "Pose, let's, you know." And he says, "Okay, I'll draw something up," and I thought, all right, so 8 to 12 pages, and we should be good. While I'm sitting there, it's like if you've ever had a conversation with God, like kind of just in your mind, and he was like, "Oh yeah, it's not going to be 8 to 12 pages." Before I knew it, I was like, "I can't take on anything else. That's crazy." It ended up being 44 pages, and that's when we had Plus Model Magazine's Madeline Figueroa Jones on the cover. And so I was like, okay, that was fun. And I thought it was going to be over. And about 9 months later, I had a colleague who said, "Tiffany, whatever happened to Pose magazine? You know, what are you going to do?" And I said, "You know, I got this email from a publicist for Spinderella." Who, word? Okay, well, let's put her on the cover. And before we knew it, we were quarterly. So I think the reason behind Pose magazine being alive kind of matured, because now we are focused on plus size men and women. We are focused on more than just the plus size as your figure, but also living a plus size lifestyle, which is our slogan: be more, do more, live plus. It's how you live. It's not just the size that you wear. So that's kind of the grown-up focus, and that's why we're able to keep going. And I must say, the credit for the content and the excellence that the design is done in is because of Kenny Boyd and a whole lot of people contributing like you.
Okay, so you have a team that works. A teamwork makes a dream work, right?
Yes.
So that's kind of like what I was saying earlier, with people being on board with your dream and understand what that means, and then, you know, they're there and they're helping you go forward. And so that is important, right? To have that support system.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Having a support system. Those who don't have support systems for anything, it could be a grown adult man without a support system. His dreams often just sit there. Either that, or you go really, really hard by yourself and you end up bitter and resentful. It's very important to have at least one person who's rocking with you completely. And that person exists, and they're probably right next to you right now. And we often take for granted that person because they've been there, or they're always giving us a high five, and we want to get it from an objective person. Honestly, if God put them there, they're as objective as they need to be. They love you. They want the best for you. They got your back, and they're going to tell you when you're wrong, when it looks really bad, and when you need to fix it. So
Exactly.
Everybody has at least one person, hopefully. If they don't, just wait. It'll come. They will come.
Yeah. I love it. Thank you. You're
welcome.
Do you have any up-and-coming projects that you want to share with us? Do you want to tell us who's going to be on the cover next week?
No.
I always try to get her to tell, and she never tells. I just be like, we cool, though. She be like, we cool, but we ain't that cool. She's like, this is business. It's not personal.
My mother doesn't know the cover. My mother doesn't even know who's on the cover, Sharon.
Wow. All right. You win. If mommy don't know, then I lose. So what new projects are you working on? That you can share.
I don't know if I can share any. You know something? I'm working with Guan.
I love it. Do you guys see my sketch on the back cover of the book? Yes. Oh man.
I'm working with Guan by Sharon on as much as I possibly can.
God is good. That blows my mind every time that I see that. But I do remember you recently putting out that, you know, before your publication was free, and so recently you've decided to actually start charging, which is still just a nominal. It's not even that much of a fee. Like, I just spent that on a pumpkin spice latte today. Don't you dare people judge me. It's pumpkin spice season, and when Starbucks has the spices, I'm there. And we went thrifting today. So I stopped at Starbucks, and Bernice actually said, "You really stop at the Starbucks like you said in the article in Pulse?" Yes, I do. I stop at the Starbucks, get my high, and we went thrifting. We went to a couple of places, had a great time, just so I can unwind for this because I was jittery. But yes, so do share about that so that the viewers can know that what's going to happen.
Well, we spent the last 3 years using our what we call the freemium model. When we were quarterly, when we were monthly, it's been free. It's been free to subscribe, and it's been free to read it, and that's wonderful. However, we have now transitioned into a premium model where now you can actually purchase the magazine for $3.99 to read every month, or you can get an annual subscription and then you can repost every month. The even better news is that we also have it available for print on demand every month, so you can get it delivered to your home, and you can have posts in your hand.
So I can have Michael at my home at my beck and call on my table. I'm sorry, that didn't sound right at all, but
a little bit.
You guys know what I mean. You do know what I mean. I know you do. I do.
Yes.
So fabulous. So thank you, Tiffany. I'm glad you're going to stick around with us for a couple because I'm sure our listeners out there and viewers have questions for you, and I would love for you to stick around and answer some questions. All right? Thank you. We're going to talk to Miss Candice Kelly. Hey, Candice.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm fabulous, darling. How are you?
Oh, I am amazing. I'm so happy to be here.
I miss you. You know, last time we saw each other was in New York when we were in the Dumbo area, taking pictures, being fabulous, running away from stuff that fell out and we didn't know what it was. It was good. It was good, but it's always good. I am really, really proud of you and have seen in such a short period of time your amazing growth. Let me share your bio with everyone so they can know how fabulous you are. So Candice Kelly is a plus-size model from San Diego, California. After only beginning her journey in October 2013. Yes, people, I said 2013. This is right there. She has been featured in many plus-size fashion runway across the country. Her resume includes breaking ground by being the first plus-size model to walk the InStyle Los Angeles Fashion Week 2013. Look at that. She's like this, just out there doing stuff. She has been recently signed with the world-renowned Dorothy Combs modeling agency. Girl, that's a huge deal. Do you get that? But what's even better is that she my peoples. She my friend, you know, and who represents exclusively only plus-size model. That's the agency. And she plans to continuously represent her plus-size women wherever her brand goes.
Hey.
Sorry, I'm still trying to figure out the back keyboard things. Producer was in my ear, and this is hard work, but I love it! So, Candice, tell us, how are you doing? What made you decide to become a model? Like, how did you somebody walked up to you at the mall and said, hey, girl, you gorgeous, you're a glamazon. And you got a smile out of this world. Come model for me. What happened? What happened?
That's pretty much almost what happened. No, when I was younger, actually, I was very intrigued by modeling. I was, you know, watching Tyra Banks and watching, like, you know, sitting at home watching the Victoria's Secret fashion shows and just like, that's gonna be me. And I originally at 13 years old, I went to a few modeling schools, and I'm not going to say, but I was basically, they were like, oh, you have a lot of opportunity, we see a lot of potential in you, but I was basically too big. So it kind of put me in a taste like maybe modeling isn't for me. Maybe I should do something else. And I put it on the back burner, did a few shows here and there, and it wasn't until I was 22 when I was approached by someone while I was getting my nails done, and they were like, "Hey, would you be interested in actually modeling and plus size modeling specifically?" And that's where I kind of like, you know what? Let me do it. Let me go for it. And that's where my story began last year. So yeah. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I can.
Yeah, but so that's where my story began.
That's where your story began. I love it. Have you where they tell you like then, because we live in a plus size world, and we're fabulous and you're sexy, and I was sharing with the producer Bernice that, I remember when I met you in St. Croix and you walked in the room, I was like, who is that? I hope she might live for me, because oh my God. And you just kind of came in like, hey guys, it's Candace. Don't call me Candy. And I'm just like, it was like the best. And I was like, oh my God, your personality was great and everything like that. I know when we had, how does it feel to live in, like they told you in the beginning that you're too big. They suggest to you that you go on a diet, lose weight, change your look, where that stuff that they come or they just go, you're just too big, I'll find somebody else.
Can I repeat the question? You're kind of breaking up.
I'm breaking up? Okay, hold on.
Yeah, I think it's my connection.
I just want to check my connection to make sure we're good. How do you keep your confidence up in a world of ridicule? I'm sure that you get sometimes, being that I come from the fashion world.
Oh, definitely. It's my family. It's my friends. I don't find myself partaking in too much in what people have to say, because I have my solid footing at my boyfriend. As Tiffany was saying, you have someone that, keeps you grounded and constantly like pushes you and keeps you motivated. And I have a whole village, thankfully, of my friends, my family, and my boyfriend, and they just, keep me focused on what the goal is. No matter, I know I'm representing someone out there, and I know someone looks up and someone says like, I want to be her. No matter what I do, even if I'm having a bad day, everything is an experience. And I know that when they look at me, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm even having a bad day. They messed up my makeup, my hair is a mess, but I know that I'm representing someone, and I know that that's going to continue them to, live their life on the daily. They're going to be able to look at me and say, you know what, I'm being represented, I'm beautiful too, Yeah,
oh my God, that's amazing. How do you deal? Like, I remember sharing the picture that when you modeled my swimwear, and some people were making nasty comments. 99.9% of it was good, but it was always a one straggler who would just come out of nowhere. Like, do you take feedback from people who leave stuff on your page? Because I think that, the bad thing is like you're in the public eye, and they go and they feel like it's their right to go, well, blah, 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 and nobody thinks that you're human and you actually have feelings and actually have a heart. And so how do you actually deal with those kind of things? Or do you hit delete like I hit delete? Because I hit delete with the quickness, and block and unfriend. Quick.
Like, I don't know if I could say this, but
you can say anything. It's Google Hangout and go on style of your life.
Okay then. Well then. This is how me and my friends, we always joke around, but what would Beyonce do in this situation, She don't care. She continues. Like, that's why I'm like, Beyonce has haters. I can have haters too, you know? Like, but in all seriousness, I do take a lot of cues in my daily life from Beyonce.
I love it.
So Beyonce don't tell you what she's doing. I don't have to tell you what I'm doing.
Exactly.
I do take a lot of cues. So when there's negativity all the time, and no matter how you look at it, there's always going to be like one negative out of the 10 positive things, or 10 people you inspire. There's going to be one person that's going to have that, you know, be all in their feelings about things. So that's just how I look at it sometimes. Beyonce doesn't care. So
she ain't worrying about you when she out of her yacht in the Riviera.
Exactly. So.
And my always saying is always, when I hit delete block and for never see you again, is always, you know, you've arrived when you start having haters, when they have nothing else to do than come at you and try to pull you down as a person just to make themselves feel better. So, you know, again, we're not here for that. We're all about empowering women and helping everybody move forward. You mentioned Tyra Banks a couple of times. Is that your like role model that you look up to?
She actually is. Like, I admire her in so many ways. She's my brand model. She's my like, there's Beyonce, and there's like, well, they're like on the same, But I do admire Tyra's drive. She's shared her stories multiple times, and I really find her inspiring in all aspects of her life. So she is someone that I do look up to in the modeling world.
Nice. Is there any new projects that you're working on that you can share with us? Dish, honey. Spill the tea. Is that what Kermit said? Spill the tea? I can't. I just can't keep it. Yes.
No, I can share that I will be returning to the Style Fashion Week, LA Fashion Week runway. I'm supposed to be showcasing on Saturday, October 19th. I just finished up Fashion Week San Diego. Amazing. I was walking for designer Adoria Charlene Bromey. She's pretty amazing. She just showcased her collection. So I'm able to share that so far. So everything else, I just have,
I love it. Thank you so much for sharing. How can our readers and our listeners and our viewers find you? Do you have social site that they can go like?
I do. I'm on Facebook, Candace Kelly. I'm on Instagram, Candace Kelly XO. It's CandiceKellyXO. I had to think about my name for a second.
I was going to say. Perfect. Stick around for a little bit, and then let's get some questions from our viewers for you, because I'm sure everybody wants to know how this fabulous got started. All right, so thank you, Candace, for coming and hanging out with us. I so appreciate you. So we're going to go talk to Dre Cleveland now. Hey, Dre, how are you?
Hey, boo, how you doing?
I'm fabulous. I am so excited because we have some goodies that they don't know that we're going to be doing a little later, and I am ecstatic. And I've heard from the producer that I'm going to have to be a little transparent and share a little bit, maybe be a little bit more vulnerable, but I'm going to choose to be voluntarily vulnerable. And I'm gonna follow your lead because I trust you. So, guys, let me tell you a little about Miss Cleveland. She is your personal power coach, is a Brooklyn native, prolific speaker, a success coach, and the founder of the Premium Coaching and Empowerment Club for Forward Thinkers, Urban Adults, the Power Players Club. Yes. Ooh, I love that name. You're going to have to share later what that means. Do I get VIP tickets to something? Back seats? I mean, yeah. Not back seat. Backstage tickets to something. Dre is also an author who has also been invited to speak on both national and international stages, sharing the platform with powerhouse speakers like Bill Walsh, Gary Cox, and many of Les Brown's platinum speakers. Everyone, welcome Dre Cleveland. Yes! Yes! Honey, yes! Thank you so much again for coming and hanging out with us. I am honored beyond belief. What events in your life led you to become a personal power coach?
Oh, well, that is a story, Sharon, let me tell you.
I
See, I
can't
started
wait.
listening to well, actually, I was always coaching, and and I think you mentioned it before. It's like kind of like when actually, Tip said that when you just do something naturally and you don't get paid for it, you just do it because it's what's inside of you to do. And I never realized that it was something I could make a career out of. It was just something I did because I did it. And I would have never actually thought I would be doing what I'm doing right now, because I was definitely that kid who, when you were in school, you had the one quiet kid who no matter what anybody did, they didn't talk. And probably there were people in the class who thought it was a good idea to figure out how to get them to talk by doing very odd things. That was me. I was the kid. So, I mean, like, literally, I had the teachers, like, on the back of your report card, they would say, she's so smart. She's awesome, except she doesn't talk. And that was, like, my life until I was in my early 20s. So the fact that I'm doing what I'm doing and speaking and even talking to you right now is, like, a miracle. But this is part of my platform and what I train people to do, which is to be powerful in their lives and to step out and become who they really are, not who they've only know themselves to be. Because I think we get pretty tied up in the labels of who we've been all the way up until this point, and give people permission to step out of that box. So this is like coming out story. So everyone who sees, and especially the people who knew me when I was that young, they're like, yeah, girl. So I don't know how she's talking to you now. I don't know. But it is what it is. And I'm excited to share that with people.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that with us. It kind of just gives everybody an insight to see that a lot of times you don't start your journey where you think you're going to go. You kind of end up going, and sometimes you just got to sway where the wind blows. And then you end up finding that right balance that really works for you. So it's amazing that you say that wasn't your thing. Will you share a few of your power principles with us? Just a little bit.
Okay. Only a little. Only a little. This is a teaser.
Just Yes.
But I definitely will share. But first, I want to just give like a platform for what the power principles are, because a lot of people ask me what that is and why I have a basketball on the front of my book, because it has nothing to do with basketball. And I tell people all the time, it's because when I think of playing powerfully in your life, I think of a basketball game or any other sporting event. Because most of the time, people who are watching the game, there's thousands of hundreds of thousands of people who are watching the game, and they can point at you, they can have their comments, they can laugh, they can joke, they can cry if you're their team and you're not winning. They can do all those things, but they do not affect the game. The people who are affecting the game are the people who are on the court playing, and that's what I do. I teach people how to get off the bench or out of the crowd and get on the court and play the game of life powerfully. And the power principles are like the rules of the game. So if you know all those, first of all, if you know one of the power principles, you will be a force of nature. I'll tell you that right now, because they're universal principles. And they're things we use ourselves unconsciously most of the time. But when you know them consciously, you have power. Because you don't have to figure out how did I, like if you do something, it's not by happenstance. It's like, how did I get to this point? No, you know exactly how you got to that point. And if you know how you got to a point, you can replicate that over and over again on any area of your life and any aspect of your life and any level of your life when you keep moving. Because this game don't stop. This is a never-ending game. So knowing those principles is exactly what people need. Those are the rules to help them step out and become who they really know they are, instead of who they've known themselves to be. So I'll give you a couple, because all of the power principles, it's an acronym, and the power principles all have their own meaning. So I'll tell you what they are quickly, and then I'll just tell you about one.
Okay.
Maybe that's good. Okay, so the P is perception is key. So that's all about how you see yourself, how you see the world, how you see the people in your world. But most importantly, it's about how you see yourself, because that's really only whoever you have any power over in the first place.
Absolutely.
You know? Okay. And then there is the O, empower, which means open up to clear and active communication. And yes, I'm talking about communication with people, but I'm mostly talking about the communication you have with yourself. And that's very important, because a lot of times we have goals and we speak our goals out into the universe and we say, this is exactly what I want to be doing. But the inside of you is not saying that at all. You could be saying, I'm going to make $10,000 more this year than I did last year. But your brain is saying, yeah, you can't do that, because who are you even to make $1,000, let alone 10,000 more, you know, or you just have a job. There's no other way for you. Whatever your brain tells you that's not in alignment with your goal, that's what that principle is about, aligning what you're saying on the inside to what you're speaking on the outside. So another way to look at that is only focus on what you want. So you can think of the O that way also, only focus on what you want. The W is witness yourself as a responsible person. And that one is a little hard for people, because we always think of blame when we think of responsibility, and it's not really the same thing at all. Being 100% responsible means taking the keys, this is the way that I normally put it, to your car and driving it, instead of letting someone else or something else drive you. Because if you give someone else your keys, or the situation the keys to your car, if they drive off a cliff, guess where you going? You're going off the cliff. Exactly. You know, so what we want to do is train ourselves to take 100% responsibility and say, you know what, you don't have to drive my car. I'm going to drive my own car. And then you can take whoever and whatever wherever you want it to go. So you get to say what happens. And that's what we need to do as people, but we need to do that as a community ourselves too. It's time to stop blaming people and blaming other things and for reasons whatsoever about why we're not where we are supposed to be or where we think we want to be. And that's really important. So that's what the W is. The E is energize your commitments, which that, of course, is about the doing of things, but not just about the doing of things. It's about inspired action. It's about when you get that little twinge that says, I have to do this, like I have to do this show right now, I have to have this magazine, or I have to be a model and represent people who look just like me. That thing that's inside of you that nobody can take away, and it's not a to-do list, it's a I gotta go do list. And you feel it on the inside. That's how you know. And the E is also about honoring your word. And we talked about that a little bit today anyway, about honoring your word. It's the most important thing that you have. And sometimes it can be hard. We are all human, and we all sometimes slip about that. But it's about acknowledging it. So it's about, you know, not acting like, you know, it didn't happen, or that you didn't say a certain thing is going to happen. Because we get real comfortable. We're like, yeah, I'm going to do that. Like you said about the deadlines that you have. Yeah, I'm going to do it. You know, and then it doesn't get done unless you have an accountability partner. But in this case, yes, you have an accountability partner, but you want to be more accountable to yourself. So you can be your own accountability partner too, and just be more connected to your word and the things you say. And when you do that, that's when the universe starts bending to your will. And when you say, I want this to happen, there's really nothing else that's going to happen except that, no matter what you do. So to-do list out the window. It's more like to-be list. Okay.
I love that. I wrote that down. Get rid of the to-do list, and it's the got to do list. So everybody, we gonna have to got to do list. You just first of all, power. You just changed the whole definition for power for me. Before I just thought it was click the light on and it's power. Now it's this whole acronym, everything, but so profound and so true and so right on track what Go On Style Your Life is about, and trying to give to people the power to create your life. the power to, like you said, live on the court of life versus on the back end of it, watching your life go by and you really not participating in the life, which is just so not. What is there, and how do people reach you in terms of, I know you have books, do you have a website that they can go to, because everybody needs to read this book, like ASAP. I saw Tiffany, she was back there writing. I saw her, she's that girl, she was writing. I saw her. Don't lie, I saw you. I can't keep my eye on Tiffany thing, and yeah, but I saw you do like this. So yes. So how can we get in contact with you if our readers want to read your book? Is it downloadable? How do we do that?
Well, there's plenty of ways. I forgot to tell you the R though. I'm sorry. The R in power is
we spelled power.
Relate to the world and yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I was going too fast. It's relate to the world with gratitude. And we all know what that is, but really that's just about finding the diamond in the rough in everything that you're going through, whether it's something that didn't go quite the way that you wanted it to go, or it's something that was exactly the way you wanted it to go. Really looking and finding what you appreciate about life and what you appreciate about all the experiences that you have in life, and the people that you meet in your life when they're coming and when they're going. So that's really what that principle is about. But the way that you can get in contact with me is by going to my website, which is www.thepowerplayersclub.com, or on Facebook, which is facebook.com/thepowerplayersclub, or on Twitter at twitter.com/powerplayersclub.
And you also give,
because it couldn't fit.
And you also give coaching as well, not only just have you written books.
Yes. So I do coaching right now. Really the way that people get one-on-one coaching sessions with me is if they're already part of the Power Players Club, because I know that they're already playing. And because one thing that I've learned just doing coaching over the years is that people say they want to do things and then they have a hard time being accountable to just that. It's like, clearly we're not ready. So what I do is...
Tiff and I are clapping, because that's really true. It's really true.
So the people who I primarily coach one-on-one are people who are already in the game, and I know they're playing, like Bernice. She's been part of the club since it started, which is awesome. Thank you, Bernice. I don't know if you can hear me.
She can.
But that's what I do. But I also now do life readings, because I'm also very intuitive, and my personal spirit guides just told me on my birthday that I needed to start doing this. I've been doing it for the last couple of weeks. It's been amazing. I'm getting complete confirmation that it's something that I should be doing. So I'm doing that and intertwining it with the Power Players Club.
Yay! That's amazing. Was she supposed to do a reading for me? Okay. So then now how to find you. Is there any new projects that you're working on right now?
Yes, my baby. It is my baby. The project I'm working on right now is the New York City Power Tour for Kids. We are taking those same power principles that I just shared with you and sharing them with over 5,000 plus New York City public school students this year, before January. That is the goal. So that's what we're doing. There is a link to it on my website. If you go to thepowerplayersclub.com, it says Power for Kids, and you can see our little mini commercial that we created for that. And you can also, if you are interested in impacting the village, please go to the It Takes a Village Challenge, community challenge, and help us raise money to buy the supplies that we need for the schools, because the schools are ultimately getting this for free. All they have to do is throw a book sale, and they get to sell the kids version and the adult version of the Power Players Guide to Playing Powerfully in a Game of Life. But there's no sale minimum, so we have to still be able to run it and get them T-shirts and pens and all those things that are nice giveaways when you do a tour like that. So if you guys are interested in helping out, please go to the website, thepowerplayersclub.com, and click on Power for Kids, and it takes a village community challenge. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh my God, that's such a great thing. Thank you so much, Dre, for joining us today. The producer Bernice just gave me a few questions, so we're gonna start going into the question thing. I can't even believe almost an hour went by so quick. I talk too much. No, you guys talk too much. No, we talk too much. So let me get the questions out, and fabulous. Thank you so much. Okay, so this question is for Miss Tiffany Jones. It is from Monetta Henderson. Her is, how do you go about seeing advertisers for Pose?
Ask that question one more time.
How do you go about seeking advertisers for Pose? Sorry. I needed to hold it further back from my eyes. I still haven't gotten used to these spectacles, people.
Well, I had the honor of being able to get an ad sales director on my team who has several years of experience. And if the question has anything to do with her seeking out, Monetta seeking out her own advertisers for whatever she's doing or supporters, my advice would be to start with your core group of colleagues, people who already have a vested interest in the brand that you have, or who you know can capitalize on it. They have to see the benefit. So we're always looking for brands that could really use the attention and dollars of our readership.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Tiff.
Okay.
We have another question for Candice from Yoki. Candice, where do you see fashion in the plus size industry in 5 years?
I see, my honest opinion is that I see it growing. Denise Bidot's just in New York Fashion Week, killing it. I believe it was like 6 designers. So I believe we will be taking the industry by storm. I believe that there will be a representation on every runway. I believe there will be sizes represented on every runway. So it's just a matter of getting there.
Yes, I co-sign that for real. I definitely believe that the plus size industry will grow because of fabulous representation like Pose Mag, and that puts that out there, like Candice, who is modeling and just being a glamazon and just capturing the world and being unapologetic about it. And I think that's after a while they cannot not address us. They can just for so long go, they don't exist, and eventually they'll go, yeah, they exist, and we should do accordingly. I do have a question for Dre. Let's see. This is from Yoki. Hold on. I'm here trying to back. Okay, here we go. This says for Dre, as a woman of color, how do you keep the message of supporting your sisters even when she has made it very difficult to do so? Is there a point where you just go, I'm going to leave it alone? This is a good question, Yoki.
Yeah, that's definitely a good question. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, awesome. Well, I would say because we are here to empower each other. We are here to be accountability partners for each other. And yes, people say this all the time, but we are our sister's keeper. And it is important for us to stand by our friends and our sisters, especially when they're going through hard times, because really what happens is that most of us, all of us on every once in a while, have that moment where we cannot stand for ourselves. And it can be frustrating for the people who are around you, but sometimes that really is the place where someone is. And if you let them go, then they really feel like they have no one. But there is a balance. You know, you have to be able to say, you know what, I'm here for you. I'm always going to be here for you. I'm going to check on you, but you cannot make anybody do anything they're not ready to do. And the only thing you can do is stand for them until they can stand for themselves. And when they're ready to do that, they will do that, and they will remember you for it.
Yeah.
So that is the advice that I would give for that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, that I got chili bumps all over, because that's like usually how I feel as well. You know, there are friends that you just want to go, but you know that sometimes you have to stand in power for them and stand for them and have their strength until they can stand for themselves. And sometimes I feel like you not walk away, but because sometimes you're more into it than them. Like you can see, you know, you want them to do it more than they do. And sometimes you have to say, listen, I see this greatness in you, but until you see it, I'm just going to be over here. And when you're ready, I will be right here for you. Always, never walking away. And like you said, you are your sister's keeper. And I think a lot of times we just walk away and be like, it's too hard, this, do this, this, do this. But a lot of times you have to stand in power for them until they can stand for themselves.
That's right.
All right, guys, it is officially 9:01, and I want to thank you guys for coming on to the season premiere of Guasta. Candice is here crying. She's doing her crying tear. Oh, everybody's crying. Everybody's crying. Thank you so much for coming out and hanging out with me guys and making the first episode so easy. I was basically like almost heaving in the bathroom, and Bernie's like, put it together. She's like, you know all the girls. They're all your sister friends. Everybody loves you. That's why we're here. And we're here just to share and empower women. I want to go through one more time and make sure you guys, actually, we're going to put on the video everybody's link. So anybody's out there watching and want to get in contact with Tiff, Dre Cleveland, or Candice, and have any other questions, we're going to put their links on the bottom of the videos, as well as on our Facebook page, as well as Instagram, so you guys can definitely reach out to them and ask any questions that you may have. Again, I want to thank you guys. Thank you, Tiff, Dre, and Candice, for making Guan Style Your Life absolutely extraordinary. Guan, I dare you to be extraordinary and start a new. It's new beginnings, new things. It's a new week. It's Monday, and we didn't choose Monday. It's all significance. Start anew. Tomorrow is new, and let's go do this. Thank you, guys. I love you. Bye.